It's been 2 days since our last stream. I kind of had some work to take care of yesterday, so we couldn't broadcast. I do apologize for that. We are back, though. Having hit our first really serious roadblock during our last stream here in the Old Iron Keep, because these samurai, the Elan Knights, proved way more difficult than I remember them being, in large part due to the fact that Scholar of the First Sin gave them crazy placement. Like some truly insane numbers and just like spawn placements all around this open courtyard. So we died here a whole bunch of times, kind of making up for what I thought was a pretty good run up till then. And then on only our second try, we managed to defeat the Smelter Demon, one of the Old Iron King's greatest creations, and one of my favorite bosses in the base game, just a really solid dual boss. But as you see now, we have just shy of 80,000 souls, and before anything else, we're heading back to Majula to burn these. Because, friends, Iron Keep, well, we are hitting the point in the game where I don't entirely remember all the changes that Scholar of the First Sin made, so any encounter could potentially really stump me. And also, Iron Keep in general, nothing's going to be as bad as that courtyard was for me, I can promise you that. But, at the same time, Iron Keep, and particularly one like special side area we can access from Iron Keep, can be pretty difficult. So we don't want to run the risk of losing quite a healthy amount of souls. What to do first? How about 2 in faith, 1 in intelligence? There we go. Let me think. How about 2 in endurance? And, 1 in... oh, where should this other one go? One in... vitality? Maybe? Yeah, let's just go ahead and get vitality, vigor, and endurance if we can, all up to 20. 20's not like a soft cap or anything, but it's like generally a pretty respectable level to get secondary stats up to. And real quick, just for fun, before we dive back into the serious content, let's see if we have any more takers for our Rat King Covenant. Always a fun time playing around with this thing, you know? And do forgive me if I'm a little bit quiet or sound a bit hoarse today. I've got like a little bit of a scratchy throat. I think it's due to the fact that I was just up way too late last night, and the night air was really hot and humid, like unusually so. So let's just slap that ring on. First off, yeah, we swapped out the Ring of Blades for the better Ring of Blades. That's very important. Throw on the Crest of the Rat. And see who we can get. This, of course, is exactly what you want to greet you when you're pulled into another player's world, right? Now, this Black Steel Katana, we talked about this during the last stream, but I want to emphasize, is going to be harder to use overall because, well, like one of our friends in stream chat pointed out, it's got kind of an awkward, stilted moveset, but it's got way more power than our curved sword, due to the fact that the katana has such a great dexterity scale modifier. Anything? We got anybody here? Well, while we wait, why don't we check out a couple things we haven't looked at yet. We've not looked at the Smelter Demon's soul, I don't think. Soul of the Smelter Demon that haunts the castle that sunk into a pool of iron. The old Iron King's life was taken by a mass of iron that had been given a soul. Was this metal Goliath there from the beginning, or was it a product of the king's conceit? So, it was brought about as a direct result of the king, like, harvesting his land's natural resources for everything they were worth, and refining them all. It was like a greed demon, basically, that took over, or possessed a massive suit of armor. We're gonna go ahead and use a human effigy, just in case that makes any difference. We're gonna try one more time to pull in a contestant. Oh, that's a pretty nifty little set. Notice he's got one of the Necromancer's hoods on, which you can, in fact, get. I don't know about their entire armor set, but you can definitely get the hood. We're probably not going to get, like, a whole lot of people here, if only because, the other Rat King dungeon gets way more foot traffic than this one does. So yeah, no dice, we tried. Guess there's nothing left to do than head back to Ironhearth Hall and, try to slug our way through what remains of Iron Keep. Now, what we're gonna try to do, best as I'm able, is fight our way through to that second special area, like branching off of the main keep, then carry on to the Lord Soul Inheritor boss fight. Ow. Oh dear. Do we have... I know we have the captain's helmet, but do we have the captain's armor? We can use the smelter to climb our way around to where that other captain is positioned. Yeah, strong attacks are just the way to go for them. It's so hard to actually maneuver your way around. Better if we don't aggro a whole bunch of them, if we can help it. Now see, we can just climb right on up here. And past the Elon Knight Captain, we are going to be home free from this terrible, terrible courtyard. Oh, check out that backstab, enhanced by the dark weapon. That is really good stuff. Especially considering we're using, technically, a slashing weapon on an armored enemy. Got a couple Elon Knights and an Ironclad. One of the rusted Ironclad Knights, I think, from the forest. Come on. Got such a weird little run cycle, don't they? Yet another katana to add to the pile. And yeah, this guy is, I think he might actually be stuck there, like that's the furthest extent of his aggro range. Nope, nope, spoke too soon. And he is not an old Ironclad. Notice that his armor is nice and shiny new. These guys are actually tougher, a bit more resilient, and do a bit more damage than the old rusted variety. But they operate the exact same. Now look, we've got all these knights on these scaffolds. Very threatening, very scary, of course. More gauntlets, alright. But we can always... just send them into the drink. No harm done. Except, they can be replaced by other unpleasant things, like Elon Knight archers. Oh, he managed to, like, hold on through that. That's pretty impressive, I guess. Got him, though. Now, let me see. Our special area should be right over here. Yep, if we use a lockstone. We're given access to a special area, and again, if I'm going to die anywhere in this keep aside from the boss fight, it's going to be here. Not right here, of course, but up there. Metal chests can be mimics too. We always want to check for that. What's this? The Thunder Quartz ring +1. This boosts our lightning defense, I want to say? Yeah. So we get another bonfire right off the bat, which is really sweet. And this is the Belfry Soul approach. So you recall how we had the Belfry Luna at the Bastille? Guarded by the, the Belfry Gargoyles? Here we've got Belfry Soul, the Bell of Ven, I think? It's guarded by another Bellkeeper who will give you access to that covenant, don't worry about him. There's a big old PvP area on the other side of here that I'm going to try to run through as quick as I can. Might not do too well, honestly. But there is no boss associated with Belfry Soul. There's like a couple unique NPCs that you'll have to fight, a la the Forest Hunters from the first game. But, there's not really much else here aside from a bunch of treasure in a really cool looking area. No. Meant to talk to this guy. Okay, he doesn't have anything special. We are not going to use Dark Weapon right off the bat, because if you recall, the Bellkeepers use the power of darkness to fight us. Like so. Pretty durable little guys, ain't they? We can summon a friend, which I may do. Got some kind of sorceress. Oh no, she's not. What on earth was she? Was that Witch Beatrice from the first game? Had a similar hat. If we get invaded, I'll call on that assistant. We got a pyromancy, the fire whip. Yeah, two-handing this thing will help us cut them down in short order. Lots of ballistae around that you can use to harass other players. Or, I guess, these guys, if you can kite them just right. Oh, here we've got an interesting dude. Looks not entirely different from the one guarding the Undead Purgatory, if you remember him. Dude's got insane damage, doesn't he? Ooh, and great guard, as it happens. Jesus! All I gotta do is tap him and he should be good. Yep. This is a beautiful area, once again. Way more striking than Belfry Luna, I think. Like, see, we're out on the roof of this... Well, it's technically just a part of the keep, but really looks almost like a cathedral complex, like so many things in Dark Souls do. Let's investigate this tower first. Oh, I think this might ring the bell? And therefore get us the hell out of here? What's over here? A simpleton spice, okay. That could prove helpful. I think that sound we just heard was the raising of a portcullis near the exit. Oh, somebody's got the repeating crossbows. The Evelyn, I think they're called. Ooh, pretty good with those dodges, but not quite good enough. I may go ahead and throw on Dark Weapon, because it doesn't look like these guys, despite being Dark Phantoms, actually have any, like, special dark attributes, you know what I mean? Ow. Bad Bellkeeper. Let's go ahead and loot everything up here on the roof really quickly. More Simpleton Spice, okay. Oh, we're gonna be attacked by these guys. And the big guy. Yep, here he comes. Oh, it's another one of them. It's the same guy, or a very similar guy, I should say. Run! Yikes! So he will come to us, apparently. That is a good sign. Like, if we could just get rid of the Bellkeeper, I'd be thrilled. Guess not. Ooh. Whiffed him accidentally. Thankfully, these guys are just a bit slow to react, but... Dear God, do they have stamina. Ow. Okay, we should be able to get him. With a little ranged pressure. Good. Good. Now it's just the Bellkeeper, and if we don't get invaded, we're good to go, I think? I'm fairly certain that's not actually, like, everything here, but... we have the lion's share of it now, and we can always come back for more later. Ooh, what are you? More spice? Yeah, a lot of those Simpleton Spice here. You can't break metal chests as you can the wooden ones, thankfully. Another pyromancy, immolation, so pyromancers definitely need to check out this little area. Human effigy and a Triclops snake troches. Does that boost dark resistance? I think so. So this brings us out to a special little overlook, more or less right outside the Belfry Soul bonfire. Now, the responsible thing to do would be... Jesus, there's a lot of them. They definitely added more Elan Knights to the Scholar of the First Sin edition. But the responsible thing to do would be to rest and heal up. When have I ever been responsible? That's a cool little diversion, and again, it's a great, like, multiplayer area, if nothing else. Again, this will get rid of one swordsman in exchange for spawning an archer. Fair trade in my book. Ow. Ow. These guys are very fast on the draw. Jeez. Oh, there he is. There's a captain right down here. Oh yeah, and there are, like, little pressure plate traps all throughout. Because, of course, there are. No, 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 no! Ah, damn it all! Okay, I got a little overly greedy there, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. And that kills him, of course it does. Oh, jeez. Now the easiest way to do this would be just to sprint... Ah, Jesus Christ, man. Just sprint through the belfry. Or just go rest again and... warp to Candelar Hall. I'm sorry I've been playing so badly in this area. I don't know what it is. There will be at least one more bonfire just before the boss, and despite the fact that they made Iron Keep much harder in Scholar of the First Sin, the boss should be pretty easy. I mean, like the principal boss. Smelter Demon's tough. It's designed to be tough, but... There we go. This is a player summon sign, right? Yeah. Come on. 1, 2. Good. Whew. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, God, help me. Oh, look who it is. I'm so scared. They're using the Elan set and a rapier. Oh, damn you. Of course. Well, they're honorable about it, at least. Jesus Christ, man. 20-something minutes and I've died 3 times. Sorry, I'm really sorry. We'll get there. Lost a bunch of souls, 'cause of course we did. Sorry, that's a great way to get in a really foul mood at the start of a stream, just get offed over and over and over again. Now these guys they drop their armor as well, and it's much better than the old rusted variant. I mean, understandably. We're almost to a place where we won't have to worry about Alon Knights anymore. They, at least in the main game, don't show up anywhere else. Notice that there's these little pressure plates we can activate all over the place that will cause the outlying, like, little platforms to break away. So, like, oh, of course he got back onto the platform just in time. Of course he did. The enemies here are kind of relentless, too. I think their aggro, distance has been buffed as well. Jesus, man! Really? Really? Of course all the archers are following us. Can we get them to, like, walk off the edge? No, apparently not. But now the archer's just taken up a permanent position there. Are you kidding me? Well, at least this will be rid of most of them. And a two-handed attack does stun them. That's very good, actually. Hold on, we want to soak ourselves in some water before we go near the lava. Just trust me on this one. God damn it all! Guys, I'm so sorry. This is the worst I've played any of these games, but Jesus, man. This is brutal. So many deaths in the same fucking location over and over. And design-wise, in the original game at least, this was one of my favorite areas. I mean, aesthetically, and in terms of, like, the enemies themselves, I think it's still really neat. They've just overloaded it with these guys. Did the other one just run off the edge? Huh. Stamina. We gotta get that stamina up somehow. Now, I think they can drop their hammers, too, which would be nice. There aren't two variants of that one, I don't think. Go. Now, if we do this smart, we might be able to take out the captain from... well, no, we kind of can't. Because if I draw my catalyst, he's going to have a field day with me. Well, no. Hold on. Yeah, we can bait these out, maybe. There we go. Okay, finally. Healing items and some cash. We're definitely going to need the cash. We've lost enough souls here as it is. Oh, this is so perilous. Really shouldn't have stepped on those. Now, if we do this properly, we can actually activate the little panels to, at the very least, drop the ironclads off before they... too late. Well, hold on. Goodbye. Really? Damn. Now, yeah, they can do that, but I always remember there being a bit more of a telegraph for it. Oh well, we got them at any rate, and got the standard ironclad gauntlets. Not too bad, not too bad. Oh man, we're almost through this, you guys. We don't need to mess with this guy at all. We could take this one the good old-fashioned way. Got him. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Now we got just a tiny little speck of momentum built up. Though it would be tantamount to cursing myself at this point, we're gonna go ahead and pop that effigy. Now we need to bring down that scaffolding and the archer, unfortunately, because it's going to allow us to access that ladder, and therefore the highest level of this particular hall. And down he goes. Good. I think there's a way we can deactivate, maybe not these, but most of these, like, fire-breathing bull statues, including the one in the entrance hall. We can, like, effectively cut the power to this fortress. Not here, though, unfortunately. Oh, of course they're up here, too. Why wouldn't they be? Ugh. Almost through with them, almost through. What is that? Place goes even higher up. Be wary of dark spirit. Is there a mimic here? Nope, but there is in fact an invader here. An NPC invader, of course. Oliver the Collector. He's some kind of spearman? Oh, yeah, no, he's switching between lots of really rare weapons. Makes sense. Dude's got really solid poise. Oh, jeez. What on earth is that? What the hell? That's either a component of a weapon I've never seen, like that weird fist weapon he's got, or he's performing, or he has a unique moveset of some kind. Oh, go down. Of course he didn't. There we go. Now does he drop anything interesting? Or can he? Destructive great arrows in there, just a human effigy? And a bunch of souls. Well, I'll take the souls gladly, but... okay. What's up here? Another lockstone, and hold on. That looks like progress we can't quite get back from all that easily. So let me make sure there's nothing else around here, no? Do we have a lockstone for that? We don't. I think it just gives you a pool of water, though, so we should be fine. Huh. Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, so if we were to proceed onward without heading over here first, these guys would snipe us from, like, the next hall. Because if there's one thing the Old Iron Keep seems to be all about, it's just, like, constant team ambushes. Constant. It's kind of like it does with enemies what Sin's Fortress did with, like, terrain and the like. That's hardly sporting now, is it? Just constant ambushes and things. Alright, that's all but one of them down. Got him. Almost. Great arrows. Gorgeous view. That it is. Can we see the boss arena from here? No, it doesn't look like we can. I don't think. And a long great bow again. More simpleton spies. Lots of spies here. Bunch of titanite shards. Okay. And in here we have... Oh, the Black Knight Great Axe from the first game. That's right, you can find the Black Knight weapons here and there. Now what we want to do here is actually drop down very carefully. Very, very carefully. Don't want to miss this treasure. Which is... cracked red eye orb and a torch. This is actually down below the next major area we would have accessed from the hall with all the archers and the like. Oh god, it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? Really cool looking, but... dead end? Okay. There's an item perched, like, on the periphery of that big old smelter there, but first I see someone who's, not going to survive to make my life worse. Down he goes. Whew. Deep breaths, okay. We can do this, just barely. But we can do it. Yeah. And there's the regular Covetous Gold Serpent Ring. Unfortunately, you can't stack effects by equipping multiples of, the same ring or rings with the same name at different strengths. They cancel each other out. No. No. Oh, no. It is, it's just a regular fog door here, that's right. And one of these guys. Hello? Whew. 3, 4, and dead. If we can't make it to that bonfire, if they've put like a half dozen enemies in this little corridor that's effectively between me and the next bonfire, which they haven't, very good, it's just these guys again. I was gonna say we might need to either use some repair powder or switch to the now reserved scimitar. There we go. Now there's this weird little, like, guillotine blade here, and all we have to do is pull that switch to get it out of the way, I guess temporarily. It may drop after a certain amount of time, but oh, hello. Oh God, no. That's a bad time. Got him, though. And we should now be more or less clear to head on to the bonfire. Just real quick, because I don't want to use repair powder if we don't need to. I'll go ahead and draw my scimitar. Just to, get us through this. So as you can see, the old Iron King had pretty simple aesthetic taste. He liked things horrifying and bloody and torturous. And quite fittingly, this petty tyrant who extracted and abused the natural wealth of his land and was cruel to others in an attempt to continually reassert his own power and dominance, inherited the soul of Lord Gwyn, which I think is pretty telling. Now, if we climb to the top of this gigantic bull edifice, we'll see oh, that's a player summon sign, never mind. Thought there was an NPC we could summon here. At Aegil's Idol, which we can't tell now, but we are actually inside the head of a giant iron minotaur statue. We can pull this little switch, and we will halt most of those gouts of flame throughout the stage, which makes going back through and especially picking up little treasures we may have missed much easier. Is this the NPC summon? Yeah, Manhunter O'Hara, who is, a ranged combat expert. Was there a treasure here? Yes, there was. A lightning short bow, +1, I think? It's pretty good. Oh, hello. We're actually heading outside to finish this one. Got him. More Titanite. Okay. You'll see this giant statue is what we were just inside of. Let me get you a better view. That. Jeez, look at that. Even, like, wrapped around the towers. That's clearly indicative of somebody who's not in their right mind. Is there any treasure around here that we may have missed? No, not that I can see. Now give me just a quick minute to pop on over to my Discord. Time to take on the second inheritor of a Lord Soul, the Old Iron King. Now, the Old Iron King is kind of famous amongst the fans for being, perhaps in the lore, easily the coolest of the four inheritors. I mean, like, just look at this. He's responsible directly for all of this, and he's still more or less alive. But also having the most disappointing fight. See, so I don't have to explain this while I'm, like, panicking in the midst of the fight. His arena has a couple little holes in it. Think like this, but a bit bigger. And not unlike the Bed of Chaos, he kind of, like, has a lot of moves that knock you off your feet and can knock you into the holes, but that's not really the intent behind his design, I don't think. They're just kind of there, and players have an unfortunate tendency to back into holes, or run into holes, or get knocked into holes. Whereas the Iron King himself, like, all of his moves, his damage output, is relatively kind of sad at this point in the game, especially coming off the Smelter Demon, but his design is really cool. So after being consumed by his greed and having his entire petty fiefdom consumed by the earth, the Old Iron King becomes a demon, a very, like, classical looking demon. Specifically, he becomes the friggin' Balrog, and as you'd imagine, he attacks with, like, flame jets and fist slams and things like that. And the goal's kind of like ceaseless discharge. Wait for him to tire himself out after an attack, then wail on his limbs while they linger. Or use projectiles, either or. Like, he does not have a ton of health. jeez. That's what I meant by the hole. That's what I meant by the hole. He just blew me straight into a pit. That's the one pit most folks get knocked into as well. That was entirely on me. I shouldn't have, like, stayed to buff up my weapon. Should have done that before I went in. But if you can manage to actually stay near him while he breathes fire like that, kind of like the dragons from the first game, he is wide open. And once you actually connect with a real weapon, not like just my little dark orbs, you'll see the old Iron King is actually incredibly frail. Whittling him down does not take long. Oh yeah, we've got to fight our way through this guy again. Really easy to get them caught in this kind of feedback loop. There we go. They give me more upgrade materials, so I'm not about to complain. Now, Manhunter O'Hara might actually be decent for this fight, because, like, range would be helpful in taking him on. Like, spellcasting builds can have a field day with this guy. We're not really a hardcore spellcasting build. Yep, there he is. See? Not the toughest in the world. No. Jesus. My bad. That's sort of like his flame laser attack. Oh, how did I get clipped by that again? Oh well. Still perfectly punishable either way. Jeez! Okay, so you can't really roll through his attacks the way I remember doing. Just running works just fine, it would appear. Fortunately, the range on that fire breath is so short. You're good, no matter what, more or less. That slightly less good. Whoopsie. Oh, jeez. No! No! Oh, hell, guys, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm doing really badly today. We'll get him on this try, though. We'll get him and then be done with the... Well, we'll collect a couple items guarded by fire-breathing bull statues near the entrance. There was that one treasure, remember, under the Gout of Flame. And then we'll be done with this horrible area and my horrible performance. No, 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 no. Fortunately, while I'm not going to claim there will be no deaths, the next Lord Soul area is much more straightforward. And there's nothing like the friggin' Alon Knights. There's nothing quite like them in the rest of the game, to be fair. I think I've died more times in this one area than in the rest of the game combined so far. Easily, actually. Man. Jeez. Like, if you make any contact with his hand, it counts as a hit. That sounds kind of silly, but I'm certain you know what I mean. That attack's very easy to punish. It's okay. I'll take the hit. Yikes. Get back. Get back. Fortunately, the recovery time for him on that one's pretty long. Nope. There we go. That's more like it. That's how the old Iron King fight's supposed to work. Bait his melee attacks, then as soon as they trigger, run to where they can't really hit you. Well, we finally got his soul, and Jesus, we're forgetting that ever happened. The soul of the old Iron King, who succumbed to the flames that swallowed his castle. The Iron King's flesh was charred, and his soul possessed by the things that lurk below, specifically some kind of earth demon referred to in other lore as Ichorous Earth. That thing we just killed was the Ichorous Earth, supposedly possessed by, oh, another petrified something, by the soul of the old Iron King. Now here we have another primal bonfire, but also we have this. Forbidden is the path to the ancient king's domain. Trespassers will face adversity befitting a monarch. In the tower of the old Iron King resides a child of the dark. With water dry and path amiss, willful temptation is dismissed. This fountainhead serves as a passage to one of the DLC, specifically the Crown of the Old Iron King DLC. It's a really, really tough, but really cool little set of extra areas. And we can't access it, or any of the DLC, until we find certain like key items scattered throughout the world. So nothing left to do here but rekindle the primal bonfire and head on home. Despite my rampant failures, we should be able to level up a fair few more times.
The soul and the curse are one and the same. Your soul has grown stronger still. I only hope it brings you what you wish.
Okay. So now we should be able to level up 8 times. Wow. Let's go ahead and get that vitality up. Dump a couple more into endurance. Let me see. And I'm really tempted to, like, just dump the rest into health, but no. Give me 1 intelligence, and the rest really ought to go into dex for now. Or no, I'm sorry, 1 in faith, and the rest to dex. We'll get our health up in due time. And now, just for fun, we should go talk to our buddy Gilligan.
Wait, you found your way out too. The name's Gilligan. Don't make me say it twice. All right, what do you want? I have everything you need. Oh, I should have listened to the warnings. This place is flipping mental. Huh? No, I wasn't born here. I'm from a wee bit out west. That's all. I've seen some rough times. I think I'll settle down for a while.
Alright. Now we can buy some stuff from him, which I may do in a minute, but first we're going to pay him to set up a ladder. Again, the more souls you give him, the longer and safer the ladder is. Or the longer the ladder and the safer your descent.
But you'll have to show some generosity.
Right now, well, hold on. Hold on. We got this. First things first, we're gonna buy the ladder miniature. It will come in handy later, believe me.
You wouldn't believe... I thought at beast here in the... Oh,
Does he have anything special to say to or give us? He should give you something special once you've bought enough items from him.
that gaping hole. It's where... Cocked. Oh, anybody else? What's it? Cheers for that.
Okay. Well, hold on. We'll get him the souls he needs right quick. They said 12k and some for the longest ladder, which is the one we want. Sorry, we're gonna have to do just a wee bit of grinding. First things first, I'm gonna see if we've got any more takers for the Rat King Covenant, because it's just so much fun. That's always a good way to get like 1,000 souls at a time or some such. But then failing that, I was watching my buddy Valencolis, stream the intro to this game just before hopping on. And he reminded me that there is one special encounter in the, like, tutorial zone we haven't done yet, because apparently if you light all the torches in that area, or all the sconces, you can spawn in, like, an NPC phantom. It's one of the Forlorn, I think. And, get some stuff by dispatching them, I'd imagine. Got any takers at all? Nah. No dice, I guess. Well, while we're here, we might as well offer up our rat tails to the king.
Speak that one.
We have 3, I believe. We need a fair few of these to actually rank up in the Covenant.
My servant.
I really like the Vanguard's little boss area, all the rat sculptures. Those are quite cool. Anything? Anything at all? Nope. Alright. Back to things betwixt then. For a little bit of NPC combat fun. Oh, geez. Starting to thunder pretty heavily outside. Alright, go ahead and throw that back on. Get our torch, because we're gonna need it. We've got about an hour and a half of torch, that's fine. We'll be seeing a lot of the torch. Something just die over there? Okay. We'll be seeing a lot of the torch in this stream, because the next Lord Soulbearer we chase down lives in a very, very dark area. Just making sure we lit everything through here, of course. These guys can do nothing at all to us, so... Gotta remember the ones behind the petrified traveler, though, definitely can. Yeah, we got all these. Maybe we should play crow slots really quick? What'll you trade us for that? Oh, petrified dragon bone, alright. There's a torch. And there's a torch. Oh, hello, Basilisk. You know, you actually do look kind of goofy in the open air. There we are. There's a couple areas in the game where you're actually rewarded for turning on all the lights, I think. Whoops. Nothing else here, right? Nope. Also, Val showed me, or reminded me, we actually do get a special item for killing that Shrek near the beginning of the game. The one we, like, snatched something out from under the nose of at the very, very start of the game, before we actually went through character creation and all that. So we'll want to be paying them a visit. Jeez. That would have knocked me off the edge. I would have just cried. Jeez. Come on, man. So are we still missing, like, one somewhere? Yeah, here we go. Let's get ready for this. Oh no, here we go. Yep, there he is. No announcement either, they're just like here. How do you like all this darkness? Oh, are they even gonna make it to melee range? I guess not. Well, okay, we will take that petrified something, and all the souls, of course, and head on back to slay that errant Shrek to get me a little bit of bling. We missed a couple things, apparently, because I saw several treasures on Val's stream I wasn't familiar with. Like a tiny little stone here we can use for crow slots. And, a couple things back in Majula we'll have to check out. Oh, jeez. Well, he still doesn't have too much health compared to the others. So we'll take the stone ring, which I think raises defense, right? Oh no, reduction of enemy poise. Yeah, this is pretty good. The beloved shield of the gallant, shieldless Lothian, formerly of Ferosa. Hits greatly reduce enemy poise. The effect may seem trivial, but for those who comprehend how critical it is to exploit a hole in enemy defenses, the significance of this ring will be clear. Too true. That means that we'll be able to break enemies' stance, actually cause them to flinch way more easily. That would have come in super handy against the Elan Knights, but nah, well. So back out the way we came. to the bonfire, and then to Majula, so we can get Gilligan to build us a big-ass ladder. We can also access the next Lord Soulbearer's domain in, oh yeah, she'll give us that special weapon now, I think, because we killed the Shrek.
Except perhaps these.
Yeah, the Handmaid's Ladle is technically a hammer. It's something of a joke weapon, but apparently there's a way to use it really effectively. I have no idea. So what we're going to want to do, we could also, what I was going to say is we could also access the next Lord Soulbearer's location from the Grave of Saints, and there are still a couple treasures for us to get there. But let's gather up what we can from the sewer first. Gore's Ring of Protection. Don't think I've ever gotten that one before. Right, so those items that I saw on Val's stream that I haven't elsewhere. I think they're over here. There's just so much in this game, man. So much to explore. Yeah, see? Right down here. Who would have thought? You get, whew. You get a Morning Star and the Cleric's basic chime, as well as the binoculars. I guess somebody died climbing to get to the great view here. All right, Gilligan, give us what you got.
What? Well, really?
He'll give you a decently sized ladder for 3,000 and some odd, and a very small one for just a couple hundred. But this gets us the, like, ladder deluxe. There we go. Now he might give us his special, like, merchant gift.
Hey, this ladder's not for sale. The only things I sell are miniatures. I mean, if that tickles your fancy, you can buy as many as you like. Here you are.
There we go.
You can have
It's a really cool weapon that doesn't actually serve much of a purpose, but I love it anyway. The Melu Scimitar.
Don't look so glum. I'm trying to be nice.
I think it's his personal weapon.
Cheers for that.
And just have a look at this thing. It's like a gorgeous jeweled scimitar. Scimitar of Laddersmith Gilligan. Nothing notable about this weapon, except perhaps the luxurious jewels embedded in the hilt. If your aim is to appear dazzling on the battlefield, this might just do the trick. And indeed, check this bad boy out. Now, that's a scimitar, that really sharply curved blade. Oh, that looks nice. Shame you can't start the game with this, because unfortunately it really isn't much better than a basic scimitar. And in fact, it's kind of worse in a couple ways. Which, again, that's a real shame. But, no matter. We shall carry on down the sewer. And it happens to take us down perfectly to a little ladder and access tunnel. Huh, but there's this strange iron, like old stone door locked over there. Can we survive? Nope! Of course. It's this stream. Nothing is going to go right on this stream. But there was some, like, the actual path we're supposed to go is right over there. Yeah. That ladder's super useful, though, just for getting us to that access hash. Let me burn another fucking effigy. It's not worth getting, like, the 1,000 souls that are down there. The easiest thing to do now that we have that shortcut, now that I'm, like, remembering how everything's laid out, is actually to go back through the Grave of Saints, and get the rest of its treasure, because this should drop us off more or less exactly at the area we were hoping to drop down to anyway. Yeah, Pharaoh's Lockstone, handy if you need it, or want it for the Covenant. Another one of these little Dark Souls light... Fuck. Platforming puzzles. I'm so sorry. I've wasted so many human effigies, it's unreal. And I know what it is, I'm getting frustrated and playing worse as a result, and it creates a recursive feedback loop, but come on! As you can see from the blood, we're hardly the first person to die here. And recently at that. Come on. Gently, gently. Good. What's here? Oh, some bleed stone. Okay. Where does this lead from? This looks kind of like Hade's Tower of Flame. There's no connection there, is there? No. No, no. Just a homeward bone, in case you need one. I guess this down deep into the earth. We're not far from the Lord Soulbearer, actually. Let's see if we can make that jump. And we can! The interesting bit's gonna see if we can make that one. Ash Knuckle Ring, what does this do? I honestly forget. It's this one, I think. Increases petrification resistance. Knuckle Ring worn by Roy the Explorer increases petrification resistance. Petrification is tantamount to death, and in that sense this Knuckle Ring is a charm that may save your life. Huh. Oh no, whoops. Now prepare to be swarmed by those explosive hollows. You know, these guys. Like that. No! Oh, whew. We made it, somehow. We just barely made it. Typically, what I like to do to prepare for those guys is get out a ranged weapon like this and just pop them as they appear, one after the other after the other. There's a miracle down here. That's pretty good. And a Cyan Knight. A little bit tougher in, like, the stagnant water here. Still one of the easier things we'll have to deal with. I'm not entirely sure what the in-universe justification for that guy being here would be, but hey, there it is. Is this a trap chest? Oh. Oh, Sublime Bone Dust. That'll level up our Estus Flask again. It's really handy. There's a lot of good stuff down here. When in doubt in an RPG, always go for the sewer, am I right? Just in case there's more of those guys. There isn't. Wow, okay. So, does this look familiar to anybody? Kind of reminiscent of something from an earlier entry in the series, perhaps? Yeah, so... Not to put too fine a point on it, but today we're journeying to Poop City version 2. Without so much, like, really, really aggravating poison, it's going to be a pair of fairly short areas that do, interesting themes, one of them being poison, really well, in my opinion. Actually, traversing this next section should not take long at all, honestly. Huh, thundering outside, but it seems to be, like, rather bright out. We want to just slowly work our way down this scaffolding. Healing item, okay. Slowly, slowly. What's in here? Oh, token of spite. Could use that to access the Brotherhood of Blood if you didn't want to or couldn't invade anybody. Lots of deaths up through here. So, welcome to the gutter. This is one of the, more divisive areas of Dark Souls 2, but I quite like it. It's, based pretty heavily around the concept of darkness. And you're more or less always going to want a torch out as you progress through here, because this is a really precarious area, as you'd imagine. I'm just looking. It'd be great to have... Well, the other gimmick in this area is that. Some of these statues can't really tell which ones count in this regard from a distance, but some of them are poisonous. They will, like, spit gobs of poison at you as soon as you get within their line of sight. So that's why we're going to equip a longsword for this area, just so we can chop them down without constantly getting either shot with poison or destroying our really good weapon. No. Whew. There's our bonfire. And that is definitely what we want right now. This is somehow the upper gutter. Oh yeah, this place goes much, much deeper. Oh, look at this. Massive piles of detritus just coated in some kind of mucus. Fun. Dung pies, good old Blighttown throwback. We're going to want to light all of these little piles of tinder throughout the area just to give us more light. Now, most of the enemies in the gutter are just like these kind of destitute, maddened hollows. They, on their own, aren't too bad. It's the other creatures that live here that can be a bit of a pain. Torch. Thank you. This is one of the places, but the place in the game where you really want your torch out. Alright, we've got to jump from here to there. Oh, jeez. It can be done. Like so. Another torch, good. And lots of light. Lots and lots of light. There's a fog door over there, but it doesn't connect to a boss. The gutter technically has no boss. Notice the sound of like a heartbeat in the background? We never figure out for certain what that corresponds to, or what's creating that sound. What we definitely want to do is light up as many of these as possible, because they make navigating back through the gutter, like for treasure, or if/when you die, much easier. Got a bunch of poison statues around here. And another one of these strange doors. Very, very old doors. We'll need a special key for this, and I want to say that key can either be found in the gutter or just after the gutter. One or the other. Great to see an area like really play with the theme of darkness like this. Actually give us a reason to bring out that torch. And now you see that great big like mutated looking beast in there? Those are the real tough enemies here. Everything else not so much, but those, yeah. So we're gonna want to drop down here. And I'd say we'd light tinder if there was any here. There's not. Oh, those. You've got to look out for those kind of heart-shaped vases, because they are filled to the brim with acid. Acid that will absolutely wreck your equipment. And that we really don't need to involve ourselves with. We got a dark pyromancy flame right up my alley, and rotten, i.e. poisoned pine resin. A good haul, all in all. It looks like a giant mutated rat. No, 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 no. How much health do you guys have? Oh, not a ton. Jeez. Problem is, they're pretty fast on the attack. There's not a ton of them down here, thankfully. Oh, jeez. Throw a knife. There we go. Yeah, those guys are nasty. They're not quite Skeleton Beast from Tomb of the Giants nasty, but they're rough, especially when you don't have a shield. If we were rocking a shield, I think you could actually block their attacks pretty easily, but it is what it is. We need to get some light on in here. Huh. Even the regular hollows are kind of durable here, which is interesting. It's almost like living in the absolute worst place in the entire kingdom made them, like, insanely powerful or something. Or hardy, anyway. Ah! Oh, that's just the sound it makes anytime one of those weird kind of aortic-looking jars, shatters. What's in here? Oh, just a little bit of money? Okay. Stone. Titanite. Stone. Human effigy. Okay. And a fragrant branch of yore. Very good. We're going to need that to depetrify some folks pretty soon. So as you can see, there's actually quite a lot to the gutter. Like, it's a fairly expansive area. Come on. Ow. Fortunately, aside from just generating poison buildup, that little gob doesn't do anything to us. Ow, 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 ow. That was good. Like a false floor, or a floor breaking away. Kudos to the FromSoft team there. That actually was pretty good. It still got me. According to that message we saw over near, like, the little circle of flames down there, there was some kind of treasure associated with getting all of the torches in the gutter lit. So might want to invest some time in that. Oh. Speaking of... There we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh. We're actually well above our fog door now, or that one anyway. I could be wrong, but I think he was fighting with a dark wreath to, like, broken sword. If so, fascinating. This would be the time for my... not just my knives, I'm thinking, this is the time for those black fire bombs, right? Since I don't have my hex orbs. Oh no, you don't. Enjoy. Ooh, well, that's hurting it. Just nowhere near as much as I'd like. Oof. More poison. Careful. More torches. Thank you. Oh, come on. You got a better arm than that, man. That's the way. Yeah, fortunately, unlike the skeleton beast, there are not many of those guys, if I recall. Put a little light on the situation over here. Ow. Knew that was gonna happen, but still wanted to get rid of them. They do respawn, unfortunately, I think the statues do. Let's light this area on up. Oh, and now we're back to our fog door. Okay, now there's definitely gonna be treasure in here. Along with these weird little acid ants. I forget if they explode into clouds of acid, or... no, they do not. What were they doing coming all the way over here? Sorry, several of them. These guys aren't too tough, and don't appear too many other places, if at all, in the base game, I don't think. So in here, what do we have? The Wicked Eye Great Shield. This is new to Dark Souls 2, I want to say. Yeah. A great shield with an unsettling design, covered in the prints of endless hands, countless hands. The true origin of this shield is unknown. No amount of polishing can clear its face from the mysterious handprints. And apparently you get some HP drain when you use it, which is pretty nice for a shield that already offers really substantial defense, I think. There we go. Now it looks like we're gonna have to fight through, ow, one of the undead beasts, or one of those mutant beasts. And, its owner, I guess? Well, can the firebombs reach it from here? Yes, they can. How do you feel about more throwing knives? There we go. Oh, it was one of those guys. That was the rattling sound I was hearing. Coupled with the beast, that would have been a nasty combination. Hey, more black firebombs. Looks like the devs had the same idea I did. That is just a firing squad of statues over there. And we're gonna have to face him, ain't we? Alright, we can do this. Whoops. Sorry, hold on. Let's just get adjusted here. Yeah, being poisoned is fine right now. It really is, actually. So we got the moss, and we got the life gems. And we shouldn't be too far from a bonfire, I don't think. Yeah, no, see, bonfire right over there. Didn't even need the life gem then, which is kind of a shame, but hey, better safe than sorry, especially after the first half of the stream. Go ahead and light that. We're now in the central gutter. Notice we are not at the bottom yet. Oh, somebody else rocking the jester set, representing. Lots of ladders all around there. More dung. Sure, why not? Notice all that mist over there. Definitely want to see what that's about. I hear more of those explosive hollows rattling around. And yeah, no, they do fight with dark weapons, meaning their attacks hurt way more than you'd expect them to. Poison throwing knives, alright. We're gonna wait to come back down through there. I think we might actually want to go through the fog door first. Either he couldn't explode or he just didn't. Either way, I'm happy. There we go. What do we got here? Ooh, a bunch of poison arrows. If we were using like an archery build, those... Ow. See what I mean by the dark weapons? Those would be really useful. Yeah, so there's a bunch of those, like, little poison ants from earlier in the game, from Earthen Peak, I think, along with what can only be described as an ant queen, constantly exuding this toxin. Or no, I'm sorry, it's not a toxin. This actually has a beneficial effect for us that I forget altogether. She is non-hostile. We do not have to kill her. No real point to, I don't think. And she just guards a bunch of poison moss. She's a cool extra little thing to discover. Again, I think. I don't think we're supposed to kill her, right? Well, I mean, she doesn't do anything else, so screw it. I'm gonna see if she drops anything special. Sorry. She's totally passive, and that mist does have, like, some kind of short-term benefit for us. It's some kind of buff. But I want to see if the queen drops anything. She does. Oh, just some moss, okay. Well, that's a shame. Maybe there was going to be more to that, like, creature, or the ants as a whole, in the original draft of the game. Because that's what she feels like, the remnant of something that was intended to be a bit more important in the, like, original design. So now our goal is real simple. Just climb our way down to the bottom of the gutter. The absolute bottom. But we want to make sure we get all the treasure we can on the way without, like, just ridiculously jeopardizing ourselves, of course. Hold on. Let's try this one first. Yeah, this gives us the perfect spot from which to drop down to these. Oh, jeez. Rotten pine resin. Okay. Oh, and a chest. Nice. What's in here? Oh, the Great Club. Again, would be useful for other builds, just not this one. And we are now here at more or less the bottom of the gutter, but not quite to the Lord Soul Bearer yet. Oh no. We've got a ways to go before that. A little ways, mind you. They're one very short area away, but first I want to do some more exploring. Poison throwing knives, 20 life gems. Okay, wow. The Dark Fog Hex and a torch. Dark Fog was in the DLC for the original game, right? I think so. Just kind of a dead end with a torch, which we will light, of course. Ooh, more torches. The gutter's actually going to be pretty decently illuminated now. Anything over there? Hold on. Let's find out. Anything else over here at all? No? I was hoping we would find that key, or the key to those iron doors somehow, but maybe it's not here? Maybe it's in the next area. I don't know, of course, but just thinking out loud. We still got plenty of, like, charge on the torch, of course. What was the one I was looking at? That one, maybe? No, I've totally forgotten. I'm sorry, I'm very tired today, oddly enough. Sorry, that's the one we want. Just see if... I don't think there's anything in there, but... Ow. Thought we would break it like that. There we go. Have we climbed either of these? Yes, we have, because there would have been loot on that guy. I think, anyway. Another torch. And a relatively safe pathway down. Very good. Okay then. We can now actually make our way through here. We'll be back to the gutter to do like some treasure collecting later. Don't you worry. Want to use our dark orbs to destroy the, damn it, acid casks from a distance. Go ahead and light a flame. And, yeah, down she goes. Another fragrant branch of yore, very good. We will take it. Oh, poor folks, tumbling off the edge. Oh, now look at these statues. These obviously are brimming with poison, or some of them are anyway. They're all coated in it. So I would encourage you to be very careful around this next area. Behold, the Black Gulch. Oh, it looks so cool. All of the, like, luminous effects from this poison, which appears to be a completely natural substance all its own. And it's just really, really cool looking to me. Black Gulch is an exceedingly short area, and it's home to our next Lord Soul Bearer, the inheritor of Gravelord Nito's soul. And it is absolutely festooned with these, poison statues. Like, just coated with them. There's also a secret area we can only access by dropping down somewhere around here. Now, there's 2 bonfires in the gulch. The other one is right next to the boss door, and that's the one I'm running for. Hey, Spanners, how's it going, man? Not much is going on, just, after about an hour of me playing like ass, we're doing more or less decently here, heading for our 3rd, like, soul of an old one. In the very, very bottom of Drangleic's world. Be careful around these pools of tar. These, worm-looking things live in some of them. Quite nasty. They don't have the most health in the world, though, so... They do go down fairly quickly. They deal decent damage, if I recall, but... aren't the most durable. The statues are like your real enemies here, and aside from 1 or 2 special encounters, I don't think... Spanners asked, do they have the tar monster from Scooby-Doo? They are oddly reminiscent now that you bring it up. So, somehow the great magic weapon sorcery was just down here? Well, I mean, I'm not complaining, that's great. Oh! And... if we roll through their tar with a torch out, we can ignite it, making our work just a little bit easier. Not much, but a little. There aren't many of these things either. There are, however, a fair few of these giant worm dudes. They pack a punch. And here's the second. Spanner says open flame and gross incompetence is one of my favorite combos. That's more or less my favorite way of playing through this area. Just burn everything. Everything's disgusting and toxic and poisonous, so just burn it all. Speaking of, here's some more. The fire's unlikely to ever kill them on its own, but it will really soften them up. Now let's go get us bonfire number 2, after, of course, we take down this, this NPC invader. Victor, the woodland child. He is, of course, a big club man's. Like many of the NPC phantoms we've had to deal with in this stretch of the game. Like, the folks at Belfry Soul, for instance. And for a guy who's wearing absolutely nothing, his poise is phenomenal. Spanner says this place looks like an HD Hazy Maze cave. It's about as warmly received by the fandom, I can tell you that much. So he's actually pretty tanky. I'm slightly surprised by that. But we got him. Good old dark orb coming through. Now, our bonfire's actually not too far from here. If we use a fragrant branch of yore on this guy, who is not present in the original run. Again, they like to use petrification to wall off certain convenient pathways in this version. We can access a bonfire that places us more or less directly outside the boss gate. Another Ferrous Lockstone, that's very good. And before we do anything else... Well, we're going to do a couple things. Spinner says, man, the fandom loves Hazy Maze Cave because of watch for rolling rocks in 0.5A presses. Really? I was under the impression that it was one of the less popular courses. Could be wrong, of course. We're gonna want to do a bit of platforming real quick ourselves before we get Lucatiel around to help us out with this next boss and progress her storyline. No, 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 no. That... There's a second one? Oh dear. I didn't know you were invaded 2 separate times here. Alright. Alright, mate, let's do it. Spanner says, I don't think the fandom really dislikes any courses in particular. Huh. I've heard that one, and then, like, Rainbow Cruise tossed around when people talk about, like, personal least favorites. This one appears to be identical to the first, but, these down. Do we get anything for killing the two of you? Just an effigy. Okay. Well, Spanner says, oh yeah, I forgot the rainbow courses exist. Yeah, a lot of people do kind of forget about them, I'd say. Or forget them pretty easily. Oh, hello again. If you stay close to, like, the narrowest point of the worm's body, you should be just fine. Now notice lots of people die down here. Lots of people. That's because we've got another one of these locked stone doors, and if we head down a bit further, we should have the means to open them, I think. Hold on. I don't want to chance a drop that I can't make, so I'll use some flame butterflies to get us some light. Spanner says this is Dark Souls, lots of people die everywhere. Very true. But here, it appears to be particularly dangerous as there is, like, just a massive-ass pit here. We're not supposed to be there. Right. So Homeward Bone time it is, and time to advance Lucatiel's questline just a little bit. Because we had to run into her a couple different places. Earthen Peak. Right, so we've got to go back to Earthen Peak. Really quickly. Then we'll need to talk to her in the Black Gulch, and then she'll be able to not only help us out, but provided she survives the battle, which she should, that the boss of the Black Gulch isn't terribly tough. For this stage in the game, anyway. We should get her armor set later on in the game, which is great because it has pretty solid resistances and looks really, really cool. Got a Dusk Herb from the Pyromancer, that's a good day. Oh, jeez. He's got solid poise. think she's supposed to be down there, like through the giant poison area. Speaking of. This should take care of him. Yep. Any upgrade materials for us, bud? Nope. No dice. We're probably gonna get poisoned here going to find her, but that's alright. Oh, not like that, though. I was not expecting to get poisoned like that. Well, that's what all this moss is for. We'll also need to improve our Estus just a bit more. Our Estus flask back at Majula. Oh, hello, mannequin. I still need most of your set. Why, thank you. That is indeed a component of your set. Oh, some repair powder. That's nice. Here she is.
Still on the road. Sorry to have burdened you, sir. This is for you, by way of an apology.
There we go. This ring will significantly boost our resistance to physical damage.
My memories are fading, oldest first. The curse is doing its work upon me. I am frightened. Terribly so. If ever you should fade.
Right, so she's very slowly starting to hollow, and will only be able to help us out once or twice more. Once more, actually. Which is a shame. I quite like her. I wish there was a way to save her in the same way that we could save Solaire if we did one very specific thing in the earlier games.
Not once. Then, one day, he was gone. Lost without a trace. Now
I'm glad she confides in us. Because, I mean, this is a face you can trust, right?
if only someone would hear my tale.
We just sat here and listened to the whole thing.
Soon I may forget even about him.
Right, so she has a brother.
My brother.
That brother is also somewhere around here. Right. Okay, now how many Ferrous Lockstones do we have? We have 2, so we can possibly waste one on this. This could be really bad. It could be good. I forget what this one does. Oh, that's good. That's what we want. Yes. Yes. What are you? Oh, the Poison Bite ring and some cash. Poison Bite raises our defense against all forms of, like, poison damage, right? Yeah. One of several bite rings known for peculiar design. Increases poison resistance. The similar, oddly disturbing design of these rings suggests a common source. Whoever the master craftsman was, he clearly knew his trade. So now, another homeward bone, just to make this a bit easier. And while we're doing that, I'm going to look up where one specific item we need to open those doors is. Right. Okay. Alright, yeah, no, I was right. There is a secret platform in the Black Gulch we were missing. There was the one with the old, like, ancient door, but there is another. Now, oddly enough, despite this being like the poison area, the only poison-themed area in the game, and in that regard, since it's much shorter, more focused, and kind of oddly atmospheric, I actually prefer the gutter / the gulch to Light Town by a pretty wide margin, just for the record. The boss doesn't use poison attacks at all. There are bosses that use, like, a lot of poison, but oddly enough, none of them are here. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, jeez. It basically just tried to punch me with its face. It's really difficult for it to hit you if you get in right close to the body, though. Oh, we could summon Bashful Ray as a shade if we like. Damn you. One of them that was laying down, really. Well, we got plenty of moss. It's fine. Oh, lots of NPCs here, for that matter. Hold on, let me pop another butterfly. We're not going to need this many of them, so don't worry about waste. Yeah, that ain't it. Hold on. Okay. So from the second worm... we ultimately want to end up there, I think? So no, we were headed in the right direction. Yeah, see? There's a really hidden ledge down here. Oh, and there's a reason this place is hidden. And we're about to meet it. Yeah. So, the giants, a couple of them survived. And they are not happy about spending God knows how long down here. The giants in Dark Souls 2 in particular, I think, are just really cool. They're basically these giant earth elementals. They don't really look or seem stereotypically humanoid whatsoever. Luckily, our dark orbs whittle them down fairly effectively. And they're guarding some pretty important treasure. I love their weapons, like these giant, coarse axes. Jeez, man. Take it easy. Their range is, as you would imagine, pretty generous. To them, of course. Ooh, through the wall. Whew. Got one. Good. And the next one should be on his last legs. Or can somehow hit me from 10 feet in front of me. So we got the Forgotten Key. The Forgotten Key allows us to access the, hold on. the little, well, giant, really, haha, stone doors we've seen throughout the gutter, and in, like, the sewer tunnel leading to the gutter. Nothing here, right? We got the Ring of Giants +1, which means even added more poise for us, and another petrified dragon bone, but we also got something very special. This unique-looking thing, the soul of a giant. Notice its light and darkness mixed in almost equal measure. The soul of a giant who came to conquer Drangleic. Will the giant's resentment for the king be pacified in death, or only emboldened? We're gonna want to hang on to that. This item actually becomes very, very important later on. No. Come on now. Really? Come on, gotta break him. Well. We'll use a hexing urn then. I just really don't want to fall down a pit. Dark-based firebombs. My personal favorites, of course. Ooh, that was tight, but we made it around. Now we can ride the old gibbet straight back on up to the bonfire, or nearabouts the bonfire. We still need to find Lucatiel, though. And let me see, where is she exactly? Yet another hidden path, apparently. It's okay, poison is okay. We just want the bonfire. We just want the bonfire. There we go. Whew. We're gonna go ahead and light a torch real quick. There we go. Get our longsword out to smash some statues. How on earth people would have found this without, like, relying on this awesome community of folks who share information about games like this as they discover it? I never would have known. But, let's see what we've got. It should be around here, apparently. Yeah, she's down there, of all places. So, gently, gently, gently. Can you believe it? Here she is.
Oh. You. My thoughts.
Yeah, there's not much left of poor Lucatiel at this point. Just enough to help us one more time.
What is this curse? The question rings in my mind, but I haven't the focus to answer it. Loss frightens me no end. Loss of memory, loss of self. If I were told that by killing you I would be freed of this curse, then I would draw my sword without hesitation.
Yeah, this is very sad. Unlike in Dark Souls 1, we're seeing somebody go through the hollowing process entirely lucid, and it's kind of powerful. Like, there's no derangement here. She's more or less perfectly sane and lucid, and is just aware that she's slipping away. It's tragic. Now, paying no mind to the question of how did she get here.
Sometimes
Okay, so that's all of her very sad dialogue exhausted. And that's us primed to head back to the second bonfire and then make a run on the boss door. With her help now, of course. Good news about Black Gulch is it's so short, once you're well acclimated to all of its peculiarities, you can just run through it if you'd like. We don't need our longsword any longer. And, what was that? Yeah, we got the Ring of Giants +1. Also have a life ring +1. I mean, a lot of these are good, but I just really like our serpent rings and the increased damage. Alright, let's do this. Once more for Lucatiel. Now, this is typically the old one I do last, so it could be a little bit tougher for me at this stage of the game, just saying. Hey, Maisie, thank you so much. Glad to see you, and I hope you're doing alright. We're going to want to, obviously, avoid the poison if we can, but more than that, just let Lucatiel deal with the tar critters and focus on healing ourselves up. Apply another round of the old dark weapon, and jeez. Rude. Right, so let's meet the inheritor of Nito's soul, and also the creature responsible for all of these weird statues we've been seeing. This bizarre golem constructed from, like, sentient hollows is the Rotten. Now... Oh, no trouble, Maisie, no trouble at all. You know you guys are always welcome here. This is the only, like, boss in the game that you can actually sever any limbs from. And in this case, you can actually chop off the arm that's holding the cleaver, or either of them. You don't get any special prizes for it, it just limits its offensive capabilities. So the Rotten is very strong, but it's also very, very slow. Fortunately, none of these statues spit poison at us. And the Rotten is more or less completely ignoring Lucatiel in favor of us, which normally I'd be honored, but... Is that... I don't know if that's poison or just straight darkness it's vomiting. Uh-oh, that's an AoE. Yep. So we can do this pretty easily thanks to Lucatiel's help. Yep, there goes its cleaver. Looks like it can still perform the same basic movements, it just won't deal near as much damage yet, and thanks to our partner's help, we were able to take it our first try. And have earned the soul of the Rotten. Now, due to, the Rotten's association with, like, craftsmanship and its location this deep into the earth, some people hypothesized that that thing, specifically this, you might not have noticed it during the fight or the intro cutscene, but this particular hollow melded into its shoulder that was, like, pantomiming all of its movements as if it was directing it, is Pharos, the Explorer. And I'm not entirely sure about that, but it's an interesting theory. We got a Fire Seed, useful for upgrading that Pyromancy Flame. and should be set to tackle our third primal bonfire right back here, yeah? And since Lucatiel survived, we will now be able to access her armor set much later on. So we've got a Simpletons and Skeptic Spice and another Petrified something. They really want us to play crow slots and make our spells more accessible, don't they? So here we have another DLC entrance area. The city of the Sunken King sleeps, as does the dragon within. And the rest of this is just the same, I believe. So that is the pathway to the Crown of the Sunken King DLC. There's only one left, the Crown of the Ivory King DLC, which we can't even access the gate to until we've collected all 4 souls, I believe. Now, what to do? We don't have any Titanite chunks, right? No. Might be a good idea. Really quick. Well, first, let's check out our new spoils. Soul of the Rotten, who writhes deep within the gutter. The Rotten embraces all in his sanctuary for all things unwanted or tossed away. So in a contrast to Kalag, who would hunt those cast down into Blighttown for their humanity, here we have this horrific inhuman monster who was a gentle warden to the things society disused. Wish that was explored just a bit more, but interesting character nonetheless. We're gonna go ahead and burn that bone dust to get ourselves up to an Estus Flask +3, I think? And, before we level up, I'm trying to think, is there anything we want to or should buy? Probably should stop by Outcast Falcon and buy, whatever hexes we don't have yet. And oh, friends, we are so close. We are all of one area away from accessing the second Rat King dungeon. And then, you know, of course, there's like the 4th Old Lord Soul, but the Rat King is what we're all here for, am I right? So let's pick up a couple things. I want this Chaos Rapier. I want the Archdrake Staff. Oh no, no worries, Maisie. As always, just glad you're here. And we'll pick up the other hexes we don't have yet. So he won't give us anything yet.
Come again.
Oh yeah, Maisie, I've been very, very well. Thank you so much. Been able to get out of the house just a little bit more lately, and my work is giving me plenty of opportunities to be and feel kind of impactful in the world around me. So I'm doing just fine, thank you. I hope you and yours have been doing really well also. Let's check out that new weapon. Or new weapons. Did I already buy a Chaos Rapier? That's... whoops. Fairly certain this might have been a weapon in the original Dark Souls. Quite like the look of it, but really quick, we are going to go back to our improved katana. And man, that's got great dark scaling. Better than the Archdrake Staff. Huh. Staff of members of the Archdrake sect of Lendelt, a catalyst for sorceries and hexes. In Lendelt, known for its clerics and their miracles, sorcery is believed to be a profane practice. But as with anything, such beliefs are part faith and part front, and this staff was born of that hypocrisy. Let's have a look. Oh! Hey, not bad. Actually really like the sort of engraved gargoyle at the head of the staff. Pity it's not quite as good with the dark as, the comparatively ugly bone staff. Now, do we have anything that offers better physical resistance? Yeah, we do, but it's a mite heavy for us. So I dare say it's time to return to Majula and level up a few more times. We really, really need it. Okay, we've got 4 level ups, that's not too bad. I'm thinking... get that faith up to 20, and then maybe... dump the rest in stamina, perhaps? Yeah, why not? We do have some souls left over, so let's think. What shall we spend that on? Maybe Carillion has some spells we haven't purchased yet? I would like to try to get all of the merchants' gifts at some point throughout the game, because even though they're not all equally useful, they all look pretty cool, and are tied to some interesting lore. Yearn is the one spell we haven't bought yet.
Sense a dark power here. Something akin to sorcery.
Oh, he's talking about the dark pyromancy flame we found in the gutter.
I wish to find out more about it, but as we see, this place is in ruins. Just what happened here?
Oh no, he's talking about the area. Right, okay. Speaking of, I want to show those off really quickly. Our basic pyromancy flame is, we've already looked at this before, I think, yeah? This right here. But in the gutter we found a dark pyromancy flame that, oddly enough, does not do any dark damage. The flame rewards those with a thirst for power. The more hollowed one is, the stronger its effect. Ah, there you go. So it actually rewards a hollowed player, which is kind of interesting. Making for a high-risk, high-reward playstyle, because, as we know, hollowing will significantly decrease our maximum HP over time. Or with deaths, I should say, so probably gonna avoid that. The fact that pyromancy ain't really my jam to begin with, notwithstanding. Might as well go blow what we have left at Mothlands, because if we spend just enough money, he will upgrade his shop yet again. He sells the Smelter Demon armor, which is entirely too heavy for us, but not the Olive set yet? I thought he did. Oh well. We'll go ahead and buy, I guess, the Royal Soldier set, because I quite like the way this one looks. It is a, like, very nice-looking, non-tarnished version of the, armor that Vendrick's, like, Royal Guards wore, in the Forest of the Giants. Real quick, I want to show you guys that key we got, the Forgotten Key. Key found in the gutter, intricately designed, but of unknown origin. All manner of terrible things have been cast into the gutter in Majula, forming a settlement of filth and chaos. And now we're going to use some of the rewards gleaned from that settlement of filth and chaos to access this little cache hidden deep, deep away inside. Well, technically, this is like, I guess, the upper gutter. We can now open several of these great stone doors down in the Rotten's territory. One. As you can see, fighting those giants and getting the key is well worth it. Not only is the key going to give us access to some really interesting stuff, including the game's most elusive covenant, The Dragon Talon. That's one of the DLC access items, right? Hold on. Guides one to an unknown land, yeah. A terribly worn Dragon Talon. Legend has it that in the deepest reaches of the Black Gulch, behind a door locked from the inside, is a magnificent city built for a great slumbering dragon. This talon clearly dates to ancient times, but great vitality emanates from it still. Hard foreshadowing for the first DLC. The Great Lightning Spear Miracle, very powerful if you're actually going for like a miracle build. The Witch Tree Branch and Bellvine, they are a interesting looking sorcery and miracle catalyst, respectively. Like, there's the Bellvine, there's the Branch. They both have, like... Well, no, I take that back. The Bellvine actually deals dark damage itself. Or no, the Branch deals dark damage itself, whereas the Bellvine deals lightning and dark damage. That's really interesting. And over here we have the Soul Vortex Hex, I want to say? Let me check that real quick. No. There it is. It's a sorcery. One of the lost sorceries preserved only in the Undead Crypt. Fires successive homing souls. Extremely difficult sorcery to evade, making it very effective against frisky foes. And I'm looking here, we have the intelligence to use most of these sorceries, including Great Magic Weapon, which is pretty great, but Dark Weapon's just a little bit more my style. We are almost certainly going to respec this character at some point to make him a bit more effective. Right now, we just gotta mosey on up to Majula real quick, and we can finally head off for the last of the 4 major branches of this world prior to, like, sort of the end game. Now, of course, it's going to take us a very, very long time to actually complete everything once we hit the end game, because each of the DLC is pretty long, and usually, I believe, expected to be tackled during or after the end game. So just keep that in mind. Now let me see if I can just remember how to get to the destination I have in mind. That's Things Betwixt, I think. No, it's not. That's Things Betwixt. That's our next destination. Now, if you'll remember, many people now have talked about seeing a strange man with, like, a brilliant, glowing blue sword. He's going to be the closest thing to, like, an erstwhile companion we have in this back half of the game, and we're going to meet him very shortly. Right over here, good old Berhart of Jugo. I love this guy.
Have you business with me?
You can see he's holding what appears to be the Moonlight Greatsword from the first game.
God of his statue. Heavens above. Who thought it a good idea to put it there? Oof, I'm in quite the pickle now. See that statue? Gives me the willies. You stare at it for long enough, it starts to look alive. It just doesn't seem quite right. There are no craftsmen round these parts. Hey, you don't think a real-life person was turned to stone, do you? See that statue?
Yep, this is just telegraphing what you would need to do if you've no experience with petrified creatures before. Totally likely in the original Dark Souls 2, but there's so many of them early on in this build that it's... Oh, geez. More than likely that you would already have run into and probably freed several petrified people. Some Lloyd's talismans, okay. Oh, some more goblins, which I believe that's what these are actually called, officially, like goblins. Dropping down on us. They're not too tough, all told. So this is actually a non-hostile petrified person. This is our fundamental pyromancy trainer, finding her just now. You can hear the rasping of basilisks on the other side of the door. That explains how she was petrified.
Hard to speak. Give me a moment, please.
She's another one of those very kind, like, decent people we meet in this journey. Like I said, plenty of those in Dark Souls 2. Way more than in the first game.
I'm fine. Really, I am. My name is Rosabeth. Thank you so much for rescuing me. Oh. You're that traveler. I still haven't.
I take it you were intended to come back and talk to her again later, but...
Had a pyromancy. So perhaps you could consider this my thanks.
Ah, Prism Stone. It's not much, but I think we can trade it to the crows?
I owe you my life. If you had not come... Oh, I feel shameful wearing these rags. I hate to burden you further, as you've already saved my life. But just look at me. My clothes are in tatters. Do you have any clothing that you could spare? I'll take anything, whatever you don't need. I'm not particular when it comes to apparel. Anything at all will do. Just put it on the ground, and I'll change into it later.
Right, so in addition to serving as a standard trainer and merchant, we can, like, leave her spare armor and things like that for her to change into, and I think if you give her, like, a full set, there might be some kind of prize for you later on. We've got more than enough Alon Knight armor, so we'll leave some of that once we're done having a look at her wares. She sells, like, the reinforcement item for the pyromancy flame, of course, and a lot of basic pyromancies. We'll go ahead and pick up Fire Orb, because we, again, don't really have any other use for it. So, Alon Knight Helm, Alon Knight Armor, Gauntlets, and some of those 300 pairs of leggings we found. Yeah, go ahead.
I have my very own teacher. His name is Carillion of the Fold. Famed sorcerer in Melfia.
Our own basic magic merchant.
I was fascinated by sorcery.
She's the apprentice he referred to who had gone
So unique,
missing somewhere.
When he set out for Drangleic, I couldn't let him go alone. But we were separated quite early on, I'm afraid. I'm rather unskilled, and the Lord probably ditched me. But, oddly, I'm a fast learner when it comes to pyromancy. What we're fascinated by, and we're skilled at, are not always the same thing.
Amen.
Why can't I just focus on what I truly enjoy? Oh dear, I shouldn't be so choosy. It's hardly my place.
Right, so she'll now relocate to an area near the obelisk in Majula.
After I change into this, I'm heading for Medulla. I'm not sure where I might find the Lord. But perhaps Medulla is my best chance.
Okay, let's head on forward into one of my favorite areas in the game. Really brilliantly designed in the original, and I think just as good this time around. Notice it dropped that portcullis and now slowly raising this one. And we get a face full of basilisk right off. I don't know if that's the only one here. I feel like it is. There's plenty of goblins around, I think. Oh, Estus Flask Shard. Nice, we've been needing that. Bonfire, there we go. Old Akalar. This is the Shaded Woods, a very interesting area that comes as close to meeting like the stereotypical haunted level tropes as something as dark as Dark Souls could, really. Like, there's plenty of undead and necromantic creatures and things like that everywhere, but this is as close as we get to playing like good old-fashioned, like, PS1 era haunted tropes down. There we go. We definitely want to access these little side rooms. Lots of goblins, sure, but there's also some good treasure here, I think, in some of them anyway. In worst case scenario, the goblins just mean more souls for us. So nothing there. Oh, check him out. He is a Gurm, one of Goblin's people, you know, the dwarves? And he attacks with an anvil that has been roughly fashioned into a flail. He was not here in the original. I absolutely love the Gurm as enemies and as characters. And, oh, human effigy, nice. We'll be running into more of them shortly. They're some of my favorite enemies in the game. But for now, welcome to the Shaded Wood proper. Right on the border of, or I should say the periphery of Drangleic Castle. Meaning we're almost to good old King Vendrick. Or wherever he would be had he not... Oh, look at the distended gut on that one, jeez. Had he not vanished mysteriously some time ago. A fading soul, that's just 50 souls, nothing big at this point. At least in the original version of Dark Souls 2, the goblins didn't actually remain a persistent threat too far into the area. There's lots of different enemy types here, which is quite cool. Another Ferrous Lockstone, good, we'll need it. Might want to two-hand this. Or not, actually. Oh, a battle axe. They're one of those rare enemies that can drop equipment they do not actually use. I'll take it. We're actually not too far from another bonfire already. Yeah, right up here. Again, a cool thing about Dark Souls 2 is denser areas with more combat encounters and more challenge in a small, like, physical space, but also just more checkpoints. For convenience sake, not to decrease the difficulty whatsoever. But, Old Creighton should be here. You know, the guy in the black armor who had several run-ins with Pate. So we're gonna wait before heading out into the ominous glowing fog. We're going to tackle the side paths, or the other paths first. You may remember these little things as running around in the Firekeeper's Garden at the very beginning of the game. Oh god, it's a Shrek. I was not prepared for Shrek. Oh jeez. They deal so much damage so quickly. No! Thankfully, there's not just a ton of these guys in any one location. So if you can take down one or two, that'll usually do you for a time. There we go. You drop anything special, like the one at the entrance? No. Ooh. These things petrify you too. Nasty. But what's in here? The red tearstone ring. Which does what exactly? Boost attacks when HP is low. A ring set with a rare tearstone reacts when the wearer is in danger, temporarily increasing their attack power. Kytha, goddess of tears, mourns the undeserving dead, shedding tears as red as blood. It's said that the stone set in this ring is one such tear. So useful for like a really high-risk playstyle, I suppose? Here's another one of those doors sealed by the king and guarded by a Cyan Knight, who still doesn't pose much of a threat, I'm afraid. Has really respectable boys, though. Where on earth did his sword go? Just shooting off into the stratosphere. So that's all we can do over there for now. We were able to pick up a nice new ring, but nothing else besides yet. But we still got two more paths to check out, starting with this one. Oh, that is, a falconer. Originally, they only spawned, I want to say, in Things Betwixt during a New Game Plus. They are squishy, but pretty powerful, swordsmen. They also have a beautiful little, like, falcon-shaped shield. Is that it? A lot of bloodstains around here. Oh no, there's another one. Another two. Ambush! Damn it! Okay. I should have been ready for that. Dark Souls 2 really likes its ambush tactics. I guess that's because it has more humanoid enemies, pound for pound. Give me just a minute, real quick. Just a second, guys. Alright. Let's try that again and actually get all those souls back. The Falconers aren't too tough one-on-one, but many things in this game in particular aren't. Let's see how they stack up to Dark Orb. Not well would be the answer. Jeez. Oh, but they can lead me with their arrows. That's interesting. We get the Golden Falcon Shield, which despite looking cool, unfortunately, isn't exactly the most robust shield in the world. It's kind of flimsy. Maybe good for parrying, like a lot of small shields, I don't know. That was the one that more or less, ow, ambushed us earlier. Whoops. I was going to try to parry him, but no dice. Yeah, not worth it. Well, maybe one more. Who cares? We're actually not far from another bonfire. Of all things, I managed to parry his shield bash. Hey, I'll take what I can get. Human effigy, twinkling titanite, and a decent amount of cash. Nice, I'll take it all. Sometime soon we'll have to go check in, or turn in all of those boss souls for new weapons and the like. Let's go ahead and pop a life gem just to top us off. Anything up there? No. So in the original game, a flexile sentry would be here. There wasn't one in the Salt Fort, but one would spawn here. Oh yeah, and these guys. That, dear friends, is an enemy we can't lock onto and looks just like another player's, like Phantom, but is a unique enemy that can only spawn here in the Shaded Woods. Pretty tough, and typically they only spawn in the area with all of the crazy fog, making them even harder to see. But here we have the Dragon Slayer's Crescent Axe, and another Golden Falcon Shield. And up the top of this little path is actually the road to Drangleic Castle, through the Shrine of Winter. But this door won't open until we've claimed all 4 of the Inheritor's souls. And the only one left is technically Seath. Even though Seath didn't have a Lord Soul in the original game, his soul specifically passed on to another character in this game. And considering how demented Seath was in the original, you just know this is gonna get pretty messed up. And it does, don't worry. We're gonna stop off at our bonfire now that we've gotten all the treasure we could from the side paths. Not a bad haul, all told. And then head into the mists. Ready to fight our way through scores of those tricky little phantom enemies. Obviously, you can't see 4 feet ahead of you, and of course there's plenty of loot here, right? You can hear them coming, though. I like to just work the perimeter first. What's in here? I totally forget. The old sun ring. There you are. Got him. I know there's a fair few chests over here, actually. Or at least a couple, total. And what's in here? Oh, the Chloranthy Ring +1. Oh, yes, we are equipping that. Increase our stamina regeneration just a little bit more. Oh, there's another one. Or another two, I should say. That got him. This is a very interesting idea for encounter design, even screwing with the player by using these elements that, at least if you play online, you'll have seen so often that they just kind of blend into the background for you as, like, really competent enemies. No, man! Come on. It's our second death in this area. Not great. Got ganged up on by two of them. It happens. We've got more than enough effigies, though, so we should be fine. At least we can use our souls as like a beacon. There you are. Oh yeah, and the trees with these bizarre faces will moan if you cut them. So there's that. What do you have? Oh, just some money. Okay. They attack so rapidly, wow. Gotta find them souls. Knocked my shield away. Got him. Oh, but there's so many of them here. Jeez. Oh no. Two at once. We definitely can't handle that. They make really good use of dodge rolls, they do. What on earth are they fighting with? Like... There's the other one again. The one I at least hopefully weakened. Oh no, this is a different one entirely. Whoops. I don't think they keep spawning indefinitely, though. Could be wrong about that, but I don't think they do. This is a terrible place to lose your souls in. Just the worst. Okay, so that's the area near the first chest. Oh no, you don't. There's the one we'd weakened. Wait, my souls are near, aren't they? Yep. There we go. Woo. Safe now. Okay, now there was a chest right over here. Yep. Want to check this out. See what we're dealing with. The clear bluestone ring. We'll check this out once we're out of, well, big trouble here. But, I think it boosts some kind of defenses or another. Got him. Now what was this? Oh, some herbs, okay. There's actually two distinct paths we want to access here. This is one of them, but there's something else hidden down there, I believe. We should find it if we just stick to the perimeter. Here we go. Well, no, but this is also good. Human effigy, sure. Here we go. Kind of a special merchant. Just ahead. A disembodied head. With a fire seed nearby, that'll be useful if we want to develop a pyromancy flame.
Leave me be. I like it quiet. Leave me be. What business have you here, traveller? You may call me Vengal, if I deserve a name in this sorry state. 'Tis rare to flap these guns. This is pleasant. Long ago.
So Vingarl will sell us some interesting items.
I remember a long, brutal fight, and then somebody killed me. So I thought. I came to and found myself like this. I don't know what explains it. But it's not so bad, really. Now I watch the days go by, gaze at the night sky, thinking of the finer things. Far removed from war, I've grown weary of battle, but did not realize it until now. I know not what brings
You have to slog through a lot of dialogue to get him to open up his store.
You may bear a great burden. Don't we all? I prefer to stay my distance. But I want to warn you of something. My body. I see visions. My body. Headless, raging.
This will actually come up.
My body wielding my
Much
sword.
later, and kind of in a weird way.
Only to kill. My body will show no mercy. If you see the wretched thing, stay far away.
Right.
I learn new things every day.
He has been here for a while, and so obviously has a lot to say.
And thanks to you, I've recalled the joy of conversation. If I can help you, if you require something, do speak up.
Right, here we go. So we can learn, in somewhat poor taste, the decapitate gesture from him, and can buy a couple, like, bigger, bulkier weapons, lightning enhancement items, and, like, bombs, and a single miracle. Miracle's cheap, I'll go ahead and snatch it up, why not?
I cannot lie. Sometimes I wonder what's become of the kingdom. I was a hired hand, yes. We soldiers stared death in the eye together. And for His Highness, I am afraid. But perhaps it's for the best. We knew not what we fought for. Farewell. May we meet again one day soon.
Oh, we will. We will. So, good old Vengarl will, again, especially later in the game, give us access to some pretty interesting gear. Life gem and some cash, I'll take it. Now we can head on back to that kind of aqueduct-looking structure, and with it, like, towards the next boss, properly. We are now totally out of the fog. It's not going to be particularly relevant again. Oh, one of these guys is here, though. That's right, there are more of them. I keep forgetting that for whatever reason. Oh, we're being cursed. That's right. So here's where the curse component of the Shaded Woods starts to come into play. You can hear a lot of giggling and cackling and things like that. If you remember that jar from the jars that look like that, remember? From the Huntsman's Copse that would emanate a curse aura, they are all over the place in this particular area. And if we want to proceed on safely, we're going to have to smash all of them. So what I might do, I may not actually make it to the next boss, but I am going to explore around just a little, and then call it for the day, because we are coming up on 3 hours, and I do unfortunately have some work to take care of. There are a lot of petrified creatures here. I'm not sure if there are as many as there were in the original vanilla Dark Souls 2, but still quite a lot, at any rate. And we're going to need to find some fragrant branches to actually, like, bring them all back into the realm of the living, if only briefly, as many of them are hostile. No, damn it, we were cursed, meaning we were actually hollowed, and our HP reduced. It's because there are more of them down here. Oh, right. You guys are a thing. Damn it! Well, got to get used to those guys. They are everywhere. Or they're everywhere now. There we go. No. That's more like it. Now, there weren't many enemies in this area in the vanilla, and I think they've added just a few in the form of those phantoms. Sorry for the neighbor's dog. There it goes again. That is actually a friendly NPC, but we'll need a special ring to talk to him. He won't attack us or do anything if we drop down there, though, so don't worry. We got the Dark Scythe, which I don't know if that's a specific weapon or if that is a regular scythe that has been taken down the dark reinforcement path. What does this one have for us? Shard, chunk, boltstone. Nice. We could use some more chunks, too. I think we need 3 to make this katana the very best it can be. We can't really talk to him now because he speaks a different and very archaic language. Again, so sorry about the noise, just the dog is on one today. So there's a petrified... They're called lion tribesmen, I believe, blocking the way. So we're gonna have to work our way back around. There are a couple branches around here somewhere, I think. Yet another petrified tribesman. I don't know that there are any tribesmen here who are not petrified. In Vanilla Dark Souls 2, there were a few. No, here we go. So they aren't super durable, but those axes do hurt, as you'd imagine. Ooh. Oh, dang it all! Oh, that was so stupid on my part. I should have done better with that. Should have done better. Boy. Well, we're almost through with what exploration we can conduct right now anyway, so we'll just clear that up and then hang it up for the day. Wow. Don't know what's got the dog so upset. There we are. Lion Tribe might have some dark resistance, so I don't know how effective this is going to be, but it is going to be at least somewhat effective, most likely. I think their attacks actually deal curse build-up for whatever reason. The one with the golden mane is the Lion Tribe Chieftain. And he does have a distinct armor set, I think. Oh yeah, they've got dark resistance out the wazoo. Okie dokie then. That'll make this just a little tougher. That took care of him. None of them dropped anything, though. That is a real shame. Oh no. It's not gonna work this time. They're like... two-handing a dagger. Just a standard dagger, too, I think. Like, nothing special. Another Titanite chunk, perfect. And more dragon bone, if ever we feel the need to use it. Another petrified tribesman, I don't know. Some of these individuals who just seem to be frozen out in the middle of nowhere Oh, lockstone, nice. Drop certain items when they're killed, so that provides your incentive to free them from petrification. Don't know if that's the case with that guy, though. Some of these are just like red herrings inviting you to waste a branch. Oh, that one has a standard sword. Or did, I should say. So this is a trap floor. It will largely give away like that. Don't want to drop down to what is basically a giant basilisk nest quite yet. Another one of you. More lion tribesmen. But no branches to be found. Oh, wow. Don't know if I've ever seen a basilisk do that exact jump before. I'm sure I have, but don't remember it. Oh, jeez. Okay, this is good. This actually allows us to interface with a new Covenant Master, the master of the most secretive Covenant in the game, in fact, and one of my favorites. Special sorcery. Near this very distinct-looking, like, ceremonial dais, we can find this distinguished gentleman, Dark Diver Grandal. Right, so we need to find, before he will actually invite us into his covenant, we need to find Grandal 3 different times in 3 different locations, all of which are hidden, much like that little platform was, and have some connection to his deeper dark. The Abyss, more or less. Got some Titanite, very nice. These are pools of acid, very nasty. Want to stay away if we can. What is this? Cash and firebombs, alright. I'll take them. And with that, since so much of this area is sealed behind petrified creatures and we don't have any fragrant branches yet, that actually may be just about all we can do here, or very, very close to all we can do. Let me double check. There's nothing accessible. Oh yeah, there's some stuff over here. Including more of those guys, yay. Torches and a flame butterfly, okay. Or no, sorry, the cursed vase is in there. Oh, right. Back down here, we didn't clear them out during this life. Did we go over? Yes, we did. We did. Never mind. Never mind. Alright. So, with all of that taken care of, we're technically about as close to the boss fight as we can get right now. So, let's head on back to our bonfire. Our home base, as it were. And unfortunately, friends, I'm going to have to cut the stream for today there. Thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. And for being so patient with me as I'm just a little out of it today. Been very tired, very busy. I've got more work to do. Haven't played the best today, but hopefully we'll rectify that tomorrow. I thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon, sharing your time and yourselves with me. If you're catching this after the fact as a VOD on YouTube, thank you all so much as well. Feel free to drop by my Twitch page and try to catch us live someday. Feel free to join our wonderful, extremely welcoming and positive Discord community, a permanent link to which is available at the bottom of my Twitch page's description. And, of course, please join us tomorrow from 2 to 5 p.m. roughly for even more Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Odds are quite good we're going to obtain not only the last Lord Soul tomorrow, but make our way about maybe halfway through the mid-game? Hopefully, fingers crossed if I don't get caught up in Rat Covenant stuff. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brady the Overanalyst wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye!